Hello and welcome back. Today I am with Ben Coomber.
Hello.
You may have seen on Instagram, but I wanted him here to talk about nutrition, supplementation and answer any questions you've got. So I think we've got a lot to get through, so I'm just going to crack on. But first of all, Ben, to the people who don't know who you are, give them a quick summary of your life.
I'm a nutritionist. I got into this because I used to be obese, left school, was grossly overweight, lost 5.5 stone after a big battle with my own health, had IBS, ADHD, low self-esteem, all that stuff that other people had. My transformation was so sort of radical, it got me into fitness. I wanted to train to become a trainer, did personal training, then evolved out of that and wanted to be a public speaker and an educator, and that's why I do a lot of public speaking now, educating. I've got the podcast, we now run an education company, we do books, we do loads of stuff because I just want a bigger message to get out there in terms of nutrition and changing people's lives.
Yes, and I'm going to put all of Ben's links below so you can go and stalk him to your heart's content after this video. Okay, let's crack on because we've got this whole little piece of paper to get through. I'm going to ask the questions first, then I'm going to go through some myths we're going to bust, and then it's on to your questions. So, question number one. Let's talk through your 3 key nutrition principles.
Eat real food as much as possible.
Yes.
Get it into a consistent format that you can stick to it, that it doesn't feel unachievable or a burden, and eat in a way that nourishes you as a person, your energy, your performance, the way that you think. You know, we often see food as a thing that either makes us slim or puts on weight, but actually food is there to make you feel alive,
yes,
to feel energised, all that stuff. So we have to consider that kind of stuff all the time.
I really enjoyed that. I'm going to refer back to a video I did with another nutritionist, Fiona Lambert. She said the same thing. She said, my thing is food is to be enjoyed, and we forget that. We just forget that, like you said, it's always a tool rather than food. Just
it's a tool or a number, or you know, we're building this anxiety around it when sometimes actually we're focusing on the wrong things of what food does for the body.
Yeah, agreed. So I asked Ben to come and speak to you guys today because I really want to chat about supplementation. There are so many questions about it, and as one of Ben's business ventures, he does have a supplement company called Awesome Supplements, which I've used myself and I'm actually a big fan of. So, and the whole idea of the company, this is my take of it, was to kind of cut the bullshit out of the supplementation industry.
It is.
And to actually get to the core things that if you are going to supplement your diet, that's kind of what you need.
And I think for me it was a willingness to say, actually, you maybe don't need supplements.
Yes.
You don't need them, your lifestyle doesn't need them, you have a great diet. And for me, there's not any supplement company that will say to you, I don't think you need any of them.
In fact, isn't it correct that on the Awesome Supplements website, there's an ebook that says why you don't need supplements?
There is.
I love that. In fact, I've told quite a few people to go there.
It's just honesty.
I've told quite a few people to go there. I love that. So, from that, if there are supplements that we don't necessarily think people have to take, but if there were some that you felt were more essential than others, what would you kind of recommend?
I think for just everyday people, there's a lot of deficiencies that we now see in the diet. People are not eating enough fish, they're not getting enough sunlight from the outdoors, they're not getting enough magnesium in their diet. So vitamin D, fish oil and magnesium look to be really important in a lot of people. So we put it all into one. There's only one health product we sell, that's Daily Dose.
Yes.
So it's got all of that stuff in it as well as a multivitamin. So if you are someone that doesn't like fish, doesn't get outside, actually you think you could maybe support your micronutrition and your health more, then we would say, okay, that's probably the one thing that you should take if you've got a bit of money to spare on supplements.
Okay, perfect. And what do you take?
Well, I take the Daily Dose.
Yes.
I probably take it 5 days a week, so I'll be honest, I forget a couple of days a week, like whatever. I take a supplemental protein, but maybe only even about twice a week. Okay. I don't have it that much in the diet. I work from home a lot of the time, so I just eat food. Yeah. I'm a high-performing individual. I play rugby. I'm doing a lot of gym work, so I take ergogenic aids like creatine, beta-alanine, beetroot juice, electrolytes. So if someone didn't do that, they wouldn't need all that stuff because they're not trying to push the body, but I'm trying to push my body. And then outside of that, I think supplements after that need to be very specific for a person. Is it something that is wrong with the brain or an organ or the gut or the skin? Then you can look specifically. But everything we're trying to do is aimed at 95-96% of the population and what they need.
So let's talk about, I just want to break it down now and just talk about different types of supplements you can get. Like I said before, Awesome Supplements is about cutting the bullshit. What should you look for in a protein versus like a high quality product or a product that's considered low quality? What do you recommend?
I think honestly, the first thing you have to think about is taste.
Yes.
Like I could sit here and talk about quality and all that kind of stuff. It's got to taste good.
Yeah.
Now I know people that literally work out and are like, oh, I really look forward to my chocolate whey protein shake after training. Now that now adds, consistency. We've now got a habitual environment that breeds someone having a habit that is healthy. So I think taste is the first thing.
Yeah.
Quality is the second thing. And I think for most people you can taste quality. It's like buying a crap tomato and a nice tomato. You can taste it. It doesn't clump. It's not lumpy. It's not grainy.
It doesn't have that really artificial sweet taste.
Yeah, exactly. Like all our whey proteins, we try to make taste really natural, so they're not really sweet. Like if you've got a really sweet tooth, then don't buy a whey protein because you won't like it.
Yeah.
It's got a bit more of a, like the chocolate whey protein tastes like cocoa rather than like dairy milk chocolate kind of thing. So I think that's the most important thing: taste, and then quality, and then of course bear in mind cost.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so with that in mind, just while we're on the topic, can you explain to us the difference between people who are looking at like a normal whey protein or an isolate protein, and why there's a difference and what it's used for?
Yeah, so the different types of whey protein, you've usually got isolate, concentrate, casein and hydrolysate. They're all digested at different rates. Does that rate mean anything to the modern day man or woman? No. No difference. Like isolate will cost you more.
Yeah.
It won't taste as nice. It's usually a bit thin and watery. So that's why we just use a concentrate.
Mm-hmm.
It's cheaper for us to make, means it's cheaper for you to buy. It's got a creamier flavour. It's better in cooking, and I think that's cool now to have a whey protein that is good to cook with.
That's why I've got an Instagram account.
Exactly, like protein pancakes, potted oats, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I would personally just go for a concentrate because it's cost effective and it's fluffier and nicer to use.
There's been a lot of talk recently about veganism, vegetarians. It's like we just chatted before. It's a trend. It's like this thing that is kind of like caught me off guard because it's not something I've personally considered.
Mm-hmm.
However, for the vegans, for the vegetarians, I've got clients, I've got guys who follow me. Like, what do you recommend that they would need to supplement their diet? Like, what are their key things they're looking for that they're not going to get when they're not having animal products?
I think you're definitely going to have to supplement with fish oil, but obviously we don't want to use fish oil because it's not vegan, so you're going to want to use an algae-based omega-3 supplement.
Okay.
You're probably definitely going to want to supplement with magnesium, vitamin D. You're probably going to need vitamin B12. You might want to supplement or have a concerted effort to have more saturated fats because that's a bit lacking in a vegan diet. And then after that, you should hopefully get everything from the diet. So it might be that you have a broad spectrum multivitamin with vitamin D and magnesium on top, and then a fish oil.
Mm-hmm.
Choose them vegan friendly, choose them from companies that are vegan supported. I don't know, it's up to you as someone that's choosing that. And then apart from that, I think for vegans and vegetarians, you've just got to be clever about it.
Yeah.
There's less in your diet that you can eat. You've got to be more intelligent. Like, I remember my mum was a vegetarian years and years ago, and I'll be honest, she was sloppy. Mum, you're a messy vegetarian, you're a bad vegetarian, and she knows it. But she'd be one of those people that go out to a restaurant and she might have like chips or whatever because and I'm like, that's not good food. Just because it's vegetarian, it's not good.
Yeah. And I think that's another thing as well. Like I was saying to Ben, I was listening to his podcast before he got here, and you were chatting about veganism. It was like 2 podcasts ago, so it might be fresh in your mind. He was saying like, you're eating like 2,000 calories a day, but what are these calories made up of? You need to make sure that like you're looking at, like I said, that protein element, like where you're going to get it from.
I think the probably the biggest battle, once you've nailed food quality, the biggest battle of a vegetarian and a vegan is trying to get stable blood glucose level. And actually, we don't talk about this in nutrition and fitness anymore, about getting even blood glucose level. And it's actually mega important. Like, if you don't eat meals with good timing, that's when you get all hangry and you get hungry.
Kick. That's the vending machine.
Exactly. You want something sugary.
I'm like, no vending machine.
So you've just got to be more intelligent about getting enough fibre to slow down digestion rate, getting enough protein, getting enough fat. It's like our diet, you've just got to add 10, 20, 30% extra due diligence on that diet.
Yeah. So you guys definitely know that I'm a firm advocate of like the 80-20 rule. I really believe in all things in moderation, with an emphasis on, you know, health and quality, and like you are whole foods and things like that. But equally, I know that to maintain my healthy and happy lifestyle, I do want to indulge occasionally. Like, there is that Hummingbird Bakery. Okay, there's a big red velvet.
Is that for me?
There. No, that was for my boyfriend's birthday. That was a present from Xana, actually. And we went hard on that on Friday, but since then, that was my moment with that cake. I've done it. But I wanted to have that cake, and I didn't feel any guilt about that, because I know I'm not going to have it every day. I've had it one time. So with that in mind, like, you know, I'm all about balance and that 80-20. Kind of, what's your view on it?
So I'm with you. What I see in the current online generation, Instagram, YouTube, is there's this clear 80-20.
Yeah.
And
it could be 90-10.
Yeah, but what I want people to think about is people are almost finding excuses to fill that 20% with something sometimes.
Okay, yeah.
Now, this is my personal everyday life. Monday to Friday, I might not eat much bad. Like, I'm not home, I'm cooking my own food, I'm meal prepping. I'm not actively going, oh, where's going to be my 10% today?
Yeah.
Oh, I need to eat a bag of Skittles. It should just be, for me, flexible dieting should be about knowing how to fit your social life into your diet and still be energized, still be happy, still have good body composition. So Monday to Friday, I might eat completely normal food, and then I might go out on the weekend and I might have quite a bit of non-optimal stuff, and then Monday again, it's just kind of normal.
Yeah.
Or I might have a weekend where I just eat great food because I'm at home, me and the girlfriend are chilling, whatever. Or I might be on the road next week, and actually I am struggling to eat good food because I'm on the road, I'm travelling. So for me, it's just about, I always try and eat good food. Makes me feel good. Simple as that. If I eat some bad stuff, I know how to factor into my diet. I know how many calories are in a pint of beer or a burger or a steak or whatever. And for me, that's how I look at it. So I'm not seeking bad food.
Yes.
I just include it and manage it. So like you say, you can enjoy things. There's no guilt, and you're happy.
Xana and I did a Facebook Live about this recently, and I said my kind of bugbear about the kind of online balance, that word is banded around as a justification often I find for almost like binging and eating like the worst kind of food you could possibly find. So it's like, okay, I eat out of Tupperware 6 days a week, and then on Sundays I just eat myself into a coma of food that is just the worst quality food you could possibly get your hands on. You know, like the dirtiest brownies, you know, the most cheesiest pizza from the greasiest shop. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think, like, to me as well, like, that is not a balance. That is extremes. Like,
so here's another thing that people don't get. You could eat 2,000 calories every day, and let's say you have a fairly even macronutrient over all those days. If you on Sunday eat 2,000 calories but it's all crap, you might on Monday look fatter because you've eaten a lot more sugar, a lot more carbohydrates, a lot more salt, and that's changed your water balance.
You're super bloated, yeah.
Yeah. So it's about food quality as well, because you might get to Monday and go, oh my God, was it the bad food? Like, was it the calories? Did I consume too much? And actually it was just a few nutrients that were out of balance, turned your water retention on its head, and it's not till Wednesday that shifts out again and it rebalances. So I think if we don't have these extremes, we have the chance to be really consistent and look and feel good all the time. And I don't get why people wouldn't want that.
Agreed. Now, by the way, Ben's not particularly here to plug his company. I just enjoyed the products. So I want to chat about one of your products. That's not why he's here at all. None of us are getting paid to say anything. But what I want to talk about... maybe in the cake?
I want cake.
You can have some there, because we haven't touched it. One of my favourite products is the Magnesium spray, which once had another life as Transdermal
Technology. That was the company before it, yeah.
But now it is like a magnesium spray, and I was just saying to Ben, I teach spin 3 times a week, and I want to weight train, so I stupidly almost put in a leg day on Monday. Haven't been able to walk since. So I've been popping on before I jump in the shower, kind of as advised on the bottle. But I've heard you speak about it before as well, and say like, okay, magnesium is proven to have beneficial effects on recovery. However, it could just be a placebo effect. I don't care though, because you like it. I'm a fan, just so you know.
I'm a massive fan.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason why we sell it, and there isn't loads of concrete research on it, because you use it and you just feel the difference. And I just say to people, put it on one leg and don't put it on the other leg, and find out. And for people that are sitting there scratching your head like, why magnesium spray? When we exercise, we deplete local magnesium. So if I went and did a load of upper body weights, I will deplete the magnesium in my upper body. So we're spraying it directly on the skin, and that seems to reduce muscle soreness, improve recovery rate, less joint pain, that kind of stuff, from putting the magnesium straight back into the skin.
So if you are struggling with recovery, I recommend that product. I'll link that one below as well.
Brilliant.
Going on to the myth busting section, as requested by Zana Van Dyke. I saw your comment. So I took it on board.
Hi, Zana.
Yeah. So I want to talk about carbohydrates. Really quick, kind of like quick round.
Let's go.
Carbs after 6 p.m. and carbs only after training. Thoughts?
You can eat carbs at any point in the day. What's important is that you have calorie balance over the day for you to maintain your weight. Food should make you feel good. If a high carb diet makes you feel good, have a high carb diet.
Yes,
if a low carb diet makes you feel good, have a low carb diet. You can eat carbs at breakfast, lunch or dinner. Just maintain the amount of calories or nutrients that your body needs on a daily basis, and you'll look and feel good.
So you can have carbs for dinner, people. Another one is the old age question that I feel like this has been floating around forever. The benefits of fasted cardio versus not fasted cardio versus eating food before you do your cardio in the morning.
Okay, so if you want to do fasted cardio because it's convenient, you get up early, get on a treadmill or run, cool. Will that have any extra benefit to your fat loss? No. Yeah. So if you have a calorie deficit or you're eating less than you burn, you will lose weight, or you should lose weight, otherwise there might be something that's up. But if you're doing, fasted cardio, there's not like an extra bit of fat burning.
No.
Just do it when it's convenient, do it when you enjoy it, and if you enjoy it and love it fasted, then do that.
Yeah. Okay, number 3, you have to go low carb for fat loss, kind of referring to number 1, but the old Atkins diet type thing, that is the way to fat loss, just cut out carbs completely.
I can imagine there's a lot of ladies listening to this.
Yeah, hey ladies.
I don't usually find that many women do well on a low carb diet. So for women, I never usually recommend a low carb diet unless someone works really well on it. Look, carbs are a vital nutrient. Carbs are fruits and vegetables. Carbs have tons of stuff in it. They are good for us. Again, it's about controlling your overall food intake rather than thinking low carb is the way to lose body fat. The way to lose body fat is to eat less than you burn on a daily basis.
Yes. I like this question because I came up with it. But unless you figuratively die after you're trained, i.e. you look like a red tomato, you're sweating, you can't breathe, you're lying on the floor, have you trained hard enough? If you walk away from a session and you're like, yeah, that's good, are we still going to get benefit from it?
I'm going to say yes and no.
Go for it.
I
feel like there's the 2 parts, and I think I would say the same.
I think there's got to be times where you've got to push the body.
Yes.
The body has to be pushed to adapt well. But there's times where, the body just needs an easy session. Like you don't feel like it, it's not in the tank. And also it depends how and why you train. If you train to just be happy, healthy, whatever, going out for a medium intensity jog for 40 minutes and coming home and just being like, cool, that was fun. Yeah. That's absolutely fine. So it's all about the goal, it's all about where your body is at, and it's all about what you want out of your body. I push myself really hard, but I only do that 4 days a week, and I have 1 easy session and then 2 days off because I'm more of a performance-based individual. It suits my needs, and I have to do that to perform optimally. But if I didn't do that, I probably would go for 1 or 2 easy jogs in the week, 1 or 2 hard gym sessions, and kind of mix it up.
Yes, totally agree. Final myth to bust. Does the fat in food make you fat?
No, I think we've already covered it. The food, if you overeat food, you'll get fat.
Yeah.
And the thing with processed food is it tends to have more calories per volume of that food. Compare a banana, which is 100 calories, to 100 calories of chocolate. Banana's that big.
Yeah, like 2 squares.
Chocolate's that big. Yeah. That's why we tend to eat more real, whole, natural foods when we're on a diet, because it's easier to feel fuller.
Agreed. Okay, so now it's on to your questions. I feel like we've answered lots of people's questions in that.
We've done loads.
There was a couple of questions, but I think the first question actually. I find this interesting because endurance sports are not my forte and not my own expertise. It's nothing I've ever been particularly interested in. So, Lindsay wants to know, I'm running the London Marathon next year. What protein supplements after training should I take, or good foods?
So firstly, you don't need a protein supplement. Is a protein supplement convenient? Yes.
Yes.
Could you eat after training? Yes.
And have a chicken, for example.
Yeah, you could have chicken, turkey, rice, eggs, dairy. You could have whey protein. You could have a vegan protein. Ultimately, you probably want about 30-ish grams for every meal. And whether that comes from liquid or whole food sources, doesn't matter.
And that works out as about a portion. A lot of people asking about BCAAs. Leah Everett asked about BCAAs. I always have protein powders to ensure I get enough protein, but do I need to take BCAAs?
I would say no. BCAAs have been hyped up over the last 10, maybe 15 years.
And aminos, that kind of thing.
Yeah, remember, protein breaks down into BCAAs. So protein is BCAA. So if you've got protein at like breakfast, lunch, dinner, you've got adequate protein in your diet, there is no need for BCAAs. The only time I might recommend BCAAs is if you train fasted to kind of have a bit of a muscle sparing effect. But what would be better than BCAAs is having a small whey protein shake if you can kind of stomach it, because all the amino acids is better than 3 of the amino acids.
What do you think about...
So save your money.
Yes, and I agree with you that. Like I haven't taken BCAAs for probably like 18 months, just realised don't need it. For me personally, but for someone who's doing an endurance sport, so say someone runs for like 2 hours as a marathon prep or something, would you advise it then?
Probably not, because that person's probably going to eat an hour or 2 before training. They're going to finish their run and they're probably going to eat. If someone eats longer than about 5 hours apart, there might be a need for supplemental protein in the middle there, because we roughly, for sports performance, for optimal body composition, we don't really want to eat longer than 5 hours apart. So if you've got that 5 hours and you train in the middle, I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay, perfect.
But if you're on a bike for about 4 hours, then I probably would have a little bit.
Well, you kind of touched on this briefly, but just thoughts on, a couple of people wanted to know about sugar. That's once again very topical. Thoughts on sugar with regards to kind of natural sugars and fruits and stuff like that.
Yeah. So sugar is sugar. It's the most basic energy form of the body. If you eat a banana, it'll be broken down into sugar. So sugar per se isn't evil because the body uses it as basic energy. What is kind of bad is comparing 25 grams of sugar to the 25 grams of sugar in a banana, because the sugar in a banana comes with fibre, vitamins, minerals, cofactors, all that stuff. Yeah. So the sugar in our diet wants to be pretty minimal because it's not coming along with any health. Whereas the sugar that we get from real food, we want a lot of that because of all the extra stuff. So sugar isn't bad, just minimise it in the diet. And again, from a calorie perspective, if you eat something sugary, those calories will add up very quickly because sugar is very dense and calorific.
So from fuzzy to food, you wanted to know the difference between basmati rice, white basmati rice and whole grain rice, and she said she was guilty for eating basmati rice.
Yeah, so I think any food we can compare one against the other and make a judgment call as to what is healthier. White rice doesn't really have much vitamins and minerals in it compared to brown rice, so we would probably want to choose brown rice. It's also got better glycemic control, and that's a good thing. It's going to have a more even blood sugar level, and you can do that with any food. Like you could compare pasta to potato. Well, potato's got more nutrition in it than pasta, so as a carb source we might be better off choosing potato. So we always have those trade-offs, and you just make the best decision for your health and also but for taste as well.
Yeah, and if you like basmati rice, and it's like Ben was saying before, like if you can stick to that and make that in part of your diet as a carbs or something that you like to have, then it's not, you should be ashamed to have it. You should enjoy it, but maybe not have it every single meal.
Yeah, definitely.
Someone's asked about dairy and gluten, and I know that you've been gluten-free, been dairy-free over various times of your life. Where are you at now, and how... Well, you explain where you're at now, and then say how you got there.
Yeah. So I'm currently still playing around with dairy. I'm not convinced my body is 100% good with it. The only symptom I seem to get from cow's dairy is I seem to get some water retention, but I'm still playing around with that. So I'm now trying to get leaner, so that I can really tell how much water retention it actually has. Because if I can have a diet with dairy in it, that's better than having a diet without dairy in it. Gluten, I have gluten, but when I was younger, it used to screw up my guts. It used to make my brain really tired, so I was gluten intolerant. But I then helped my gut out. I fixed my gut. I improved the strength of my immune system. I reintroduced the gluten, and I seemed to be fine afterwards. So, you know, I don't want to pick too much on gluten and dairy because anyone can be intolerant to anything.
Yeah.
Apples, tomatoes, rice, quinoa,
It's
gluten,
crazy.
like anything. So I think you've just got to listen to the body. You've got to see, like, oh, that meal may be bloated or tired. Well, why was that? What was in it? Is there a common allergen? Let me try and remove it. Do I feel better? Oh, I do feel better. Maybe I'm intolerant to that. And then you might go on a bit of a journey to try and fix that problem. But ultimately, you can be intolerant to anything.
You can, and I don't think you need to cut out dairy or gluten to be healthy.
No.
I've had my own issues with gluten and things as well, and I'm at a point where everything's back in the diet, because my body took that time to work out where it was at, it looked healed, and now I'm cool with it. But it doesn't, I think it's always the old age thing, gluten-free products aren't necessarily the healthiest products, or dairy-free things aren't always going to be the best for your body.
I would probably say that gluten-free and dairy-free products that are made to be free from would be less nutritious than the original thing, because it's, you know, they're being held together by sugar and rice flour.
Long processes to get there.
Yeah, definitely. Probably very nutrient-devoid foods.
Awesome. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up there because we're going to have a lot of stuff to edit. But that was awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked having Ben here, and if you'd come back, maybe.
Why not?
Why not? I know that, so Ben does do a lot of nutrition stuff, but he also does a lot of stuff about coaching and mindset, and like a whole range of stuff. So I feel like there's a whole other conversation we can have.
We
that
could.
Would be really, really cool.
There's many conversations.
Many. Okay, so if you did like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And Ben, where can people find you?
All over the internet, Ben Coomber, Coomber, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, all over the place.
And the podcast is essential listening.
Ben Coomber Radio.
Recommend it. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Goodbye, see you tomorrow. Goodbye.